The easiest diet to quickly eliminate visceral fat. Hello everyone! Today we're going to talk about a topic that many people are deeply concerned about: how to get rid of visceral fat with a diet that's extremely simple and easy to follow. This method is recommended by nutrition experts and is backed by years of research and clinical practice. It has been applied to countless patients, from busy professionals and entrepreneurs to even celebrities, all of whom have seen positive results. One of the most important points that experts always emphasize is this: the most dangerous fat in our body isn't the layer of subcutaneous fat that everyone can see, but rather the fat hidden deep inside the abdominal cavity, surrounding vital organs like the liver, heart, and pancreas. Visceral fat is truly the silent culprit, responsible for a wide range of serious health problems such as diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and even stroke. That's why eliminating it should be a top priority. And here's something that may surprise you. Researchers have proven that there is a diet capable of reducing visceral fat by up to 14%, even if your body weight doesn't change at all. The remarkable thing is that this is not the keto diet, not an all-meat diet, and you don't need to bury yourself in counting every single calorie. It may sound hard to believe, but science has spoken, and the good news is this is the easiest diet to follow if you truly want to escape the silent killer known as visceral fat. Nutrition experts emphasize that not all fat is the same. Visceral fat is the hidden culprit quietly undermining your health. It's not just an unattractive layer clinging around your belly. It actually behaves like a toxic factory inside your body, constantly releasing inflammatory molecules called cytokines. These molecules spread throughout the bloodstream, fueling chronic, low-grade inflammation, the root cause of countless diseases such as diabetes, heart disease, Alzheimer's, and even cancer. A Harvard study even found that the more visceral fat you have, the less blood flows to the brain. Over time, the brain begins to shrink in areas that control memory and emotions. In other words, too much visceral fat can literally weaken your brain and make you less sharp. The scary truth is that losing weight does not necessarily mean losing visceral fat. Some people may shed noticeable pounds, yet the fat around the liver, heart, and pancreas stubbornly remains. On the other hand, it's possible to significantly reduce visceral fat with little to no change in overall body weight. Dr. Mark Hyman, one of the world's leading experts in functional medicine and nutrition, who has dedicated his career to discovering how food can heal, once shared a patient story. This man was determined to lose weight, but continued drinking alcohol and indulging in his favorite foods. He managed to lose 5 kilograms, but when checked with a DXA scan, his visceral fat had not decreased at all. He was devastated. And here's the reality: to eliminate visceral fat, it's not enough to just cut calories. You must change the quality of the foods you eat. When this patient made a few simple changes to his diet, he was able to reduce up to 75% of his visceral fat. The secret weapon recommended by scientists is what they call the optimized Mediterranean diet. A large study compared 3 groups. Group 1, healthy eating, lean meats, vegetables, fruits. No weight loss, but visceral fat decreased by 4.2%. Group 2, traditional Mediterranean diet, olive oil, fish, nuts. Lost 2.7% of body weight and reduced visceral fat by 6%. Group 3, optimized Mediterranean diet enriched with polyphenol-rich foods like blueberries, raspberries, pomegranates, and green tea. Even though body weight only dropped 3.9%, visceral fat was reduced by 14%, more than 3 times the reduction seen in the traditional Mediterranean group. And the secret lies in polyphenols, plant compounds with the remarkable ability to wake up the gut and switch on the process of burning visceral fat. These plant compounds are truly extraordinary. They act like an alarm clock for your gut, activating special molecules such as urolithin A, which help the body burn visceral fat more effectively. Think of polyphenols as a quiet team of workers, cleaning out the warehouse in your belly, sweeping away the dangerous fat wrapped around your liver, pancreas, and heart. That's why Dr. Mark Hyman always emphasizes: don't obsess over the number on the scale. Focus instead on the quality of the food you consume every day. In the end, it's the quality of your diet that truly determines your health and longevity. To optimize the Mediterranean diet, the very first step he recommends for patients is eliminating the saboteurs. And at the top of that list is alcohol. It may seem harmless to have 1 or 2 drinks a day, or a few glasses on the weekend. But in reality, even a small amount is enough to trigger inflammation, increase cravings, and force the liver to prioritize breaking down alcohol before it can process fat. What that means is, every time you drink alcohol, your body practically shuts down the process of burning visceral fat. So, if you truly want to give your body the chance to heal and become healthier, the very first step is saying goodbye to the habit of drinking regularly. The next major saboteur is ultra-processed foods, snack packs, pastries, sugary sodas, or convenient canned goods. They're not only loaded with sugar and unhealthy fats, but also contain emulsifiers and preservatives, the silent disruptors that disturb your gut microbiome. And as you may know, an unhealthy gut is the perfect breeding ground for visceral fat to cling to. Recent studies show that just 2 weeks of eating a diet high in processed foods can significantly reduce beneficial gut bacteria, triggering inflammation throughout the body. That's why, once you've cleared out the junk from your diet, the next step is to nourish your body with truly high-quality ingredients. Dr. Mark Hyman especially emphasizes clean protein. He often recommends 0.81 gram of protein per pound of actual body weight. Ideal sources include white fish, omega-3 rich fatty fish like salmon and sardines, as well as naturally raised chicken breast. What's fascinating is that one of Dr. Hyman's patients, after losing 9 kilograms, not only preserved his muscle mass, but actually gained an additional 1.5 kilograms of lean muscle, all thanks to eating enough protein. It's like melting away belly fat while at the same time building a protective fortress for metabolism, leaving the body stronger, healthier, and more energized. One weapon Dr. Mark Hyman never leaves out of his dietary approach is dark-colored berries. He often instructs patients to eat at least 2 cups of blueberries or raspberries every single day. These aren't just delicious, they act like a natural pill packed with polyphenols. Once in the gut, these tiny molecules act as powerful signals, triggering the body to shift into visceral fat-burning mode. Picture it this way. Each berry is like a ray of light, sweeping through your abdomen, reaching your heart, liver, and pancreas, gradually burning away the dangerous fat that clings around them. But what about those who are coffee addicts? Mark doesn't ask them to give it up completely. Instead, he advises gradually switching to green tea. 1 cup of coffee in the morning can stay, but the following cups should be replaced with green tea. Thanks to the combination of catechins and caffeine, green tea becomes like a set of wings that enhance fat oxidation, especially in the abdominal area. In fact, many studies have shown that people who drink green tea regularly tend to have significantly lower levels of visceral fat. And it doesn't stop there. This diet is also filled with polyphenol-rich greens like kale and spinach. These not only add volume to meals without adding calories, but also prolong satiety and nourish the gut microbiome. Mark also skillfully incorporates fermented foods such as kimchi and sauerkraut, along with chia seeds, which provide both fiber and excellent nutrition for beneficial bacteria. When your gut microbiome is strong, it works like a team of gatekeepers, protecting the gut and preventing visceral fat from finding any chance to accumulate. Another key principle Dr. Mark Hyman applies is what he calls automating hunger. Instead of eating at random times, he guides his patients to eat in alignment with their natural circadian rhythm. Dinner finishes before 7 p.m., giving the body at least 3-5 hours to digest before sleep. The next morning, within 1-2 hours of waking up, they start with a protein-rich, nutrient-dense meal. Lunch is balanced, and dinner is the final meal of the day. When the body is trained to eat on a schedule, hunger also becomes orderly and predictable instead of striking at any random moment. Of course, Mark never forgets to emphasize the role of exercise. His patients combine 3 forms of training: weightlifting, brisk walking, and sprinting. This trio has been proven not only to reduce visceral fat, but also to preserve lean muscle mass and support long-term metabolic health. However, the most important key is patience. It takes at least 90 days to see dramatic change. Yet, interestingly, after just 2 weeks, one patient who used to be addicted to constant snacking suddenly realized he felt so full that he simply didn't want to eat. He even texted Dr. Mark, If I'm not hungry, do I need to force myself to eat? From someone who used to nibble for 12 hours a day, he had now learned how to turn hunger into an ally rather than an enemy that once controlled him. Dr. Mark Hyman's conclusion is clear. The quality of your food is just as important, if not more important, than the number of calories you consume. When you nourish your gut with the right ingredients, your body naturally knows how to heal itself and eliminate visceral fat. This isn't magic, it's science, proven by research. So start today with just a few small changes. Swap a soda for a cup of green tea, replace a bag of chips with a handful of blueberries, and try finishing dinner before 7 p.m. These seemingly small actions are actually the first bricks in building a leaner body, a sharper mind, and a stronger heart. If you found this scientific insight helpful, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so together we can spread simple, inspiring nutrition knowledge that truly has the power to change lives.